This broadcast of education and perspectives is paid for by Medgar College.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Medgar College, MEC-TV, and this is the Best of Arts Alive. The performances are a visual experience and usually done live in front of an audience. Unfortunately, for the last 2 years, that has not been possible. I'm Nathalie Gregoire.
And if all goes well, Arts Alive will be back on campus in the spring. Until then, we picked some of the best performances from the past 3 semesters into our show. I'm Elijah Walker.
And I'm Amanda Barrett. Today's show will highlight work from professors and students, from spoken word to art, music, and dance and poetry. As in our next piece, Hope, using motion graphics, video, music, and dance.
Hope is something that we all need today. And what you're about to see are students using dance and technology to generate new ideas, to get through this tough time in America, or the world, I should say. It's not a performance, but it's a capturing of a moment of resilience. I'm Professor J. Sharon Robertson. I am the newest member in the Mass-Comm department, and I'm excited for you to see this short docuseries of Hope.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very good to see the number of persons out here tonight that are, and certainly this indicates that we are ready for freedom and we're ready to march for it. I just want to say to you here tonight that the reason I'm up here is because you have given us inspiration in Jackson, and we're going to go back to Jackson, South Mississippi, and all over Mississippi and fight for freedom as you're fighting for it here in Greenwood. All we want you to do is keep going with this fight for freedom. And as we stick together here, as you feel the pains of dogs here in Greenwood, we'll feel them in Jackson. And if we feel them in Jackson, you feel them here. And when we get this unity, ladies and gentlemen, nothing can stop us. We're going to win this fight for freedom. Thank you very much.
We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I got house in the carriage, yeah. I got black love and marriage, yeah. They gon' say you can't have it, but I'm like, don't kill the messenger. We gon' break the stigma up. Huxtables turn to Obamas. It ain't about where you been, where you from, what you got. It's all about love. Self-love is the best love. When you gon' take that wristband off, that petite party bent over. Don't need makeup to dress you up. I gave birth on the bathroom floor. Just me, Iman, and headphone calls. Don't let this life defeat you. I hope this message reach you. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is.
Love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
2 years ago during COVID, the campus was closed, and most of the country was still on lockdown. And students from our dance classes had to learn the choreography virtually.
Although the students had to learn the steps online with the professor, they came together in the spring of 2021 as a group to perform Power from Prospect Park. Here's Power.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game. I met a gypsy and she hit me to some
Since I
life
was a
game.
small fry, knew I had big dreams. Chase him like a rookie at the championship rings. Mama told me diamonds from the hardest to bedrock. And if I wanted to glow up, had to polish my spirit clean. Cause you ain't made for all palates, taste comes acquired. You can't copy and paste, they'll control or erase your profile of the debates. Get that check as if good faith been retired. Keep us silent while we serve as inspiration for higher absurd. I come from tribal women, gold fronted and baby herd. A running our tennis is a minor too may disturb. For the world with our innards, gave them housing between the curves. Now the public tenants think they're entitled to the reserves. That's a negative, like I'm overdrafted. Access to my assets, legislated and passed this. And craft got me teaching dudes class like the praxis. Cause they've been trying me and my sojourners just for practice. Whole globe spinning on my double X axis. Graphite tinted grandmothers in the ashes. I'm the phoenix flinging winged prayers for my passages. Resurrecting fully blown dreams from the fractions. Rock.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game.
Yes, ma'am.
I met a gypsy and she hit me to some.
Expressions of emotions through dance helped many of the students get through COVID using the power of dance. We'll be back after these messages.
I like the B.F.A program because it allows me to explore all avenues of my artistry.
The B.F.A program is helping my technical skills so that I'll be able to get a job in media.
So sign up for the B.F.A program, change your life, and set yourself up for a successful future.
Please join us as Medgar Evers College presents Arts Alive Spring 22 edition on May 5th at 7 p.m. Hosted by our very own Mass Communications Department. Stream live on YouTube, Facebook, and MEC's radio broadcast on WNYE 91.5 FM and Channel 25.
Arts Alive is an entertaining artistic visual show of dance, poetry, spoken word, and digital art, all created by the B.F.A students. Remember, stream Arts Alive 2022 Spring Edition on Medgar Evers Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as MEC's broadcast. Welcome back to MEC-TV's Arts Alive show. You know, I wanted to talk about how the B.F.A program really benefit all of us. I know Natalie and Elijah, you can agree to this. For me, the B.F.A program really gave me an experience of how it would be in the real life, in production, hosting, which is something I want to do in the future in my career. And just being on set, learning how the cameras work, it gives me an experience that I can take and also build up skills for my profession in the world. What about you, Natalie?
I definitely agree with you, Amanda. Being in this B.F.A program definitely has taught me the skills that I need to expect from my team, because I want to go into creative producing. I want to create documentaries, short films, and even do like advertisements that highlight voices that are not highlighted in the media. And just being in these classes, like being in the radio production room and learning how like the equipment works, lets me know what I expect my team to do, you know? Like when I pull up to set, I expect my team to know how to work a camera. And because I know how to work a camera, I know what to look for, you know? So yeah, what about you?
For me, first of all, I agree with both of your points of view. For me, I gotta say it really helped boost up my confidence.
Wow.
You know, because when I was young, I used to have very low self-esteem. I mean, I still do a little bit, but you know, me being on camera, you know, and being on set with you guys, it really, you know, having that positive energy, it made me feel better about myself and everything, so.
You're doing a great job.
Yes, yes. Shout out to the B.F.A program. College is where you can explore new ideas, have new experiences, and of course, learn history. So let's get a little controversial. The N-word. It has been a conflicting topic for some. For many, it brings back horrific times in American history.
According to the NAACP, the world should have been buried a long time ago. Here's some food for thought. Should it be buried or not? With that being said, here's Professor Hermina Marcelin with her thoughts on the N-word.
Finally, the word that has kept our people burdened for centuries is dead and gone. Hallelujah!
Today, we're not just burying the N-word. Today, we're taking it out of existence. We're removing it from our spirits. We're ensuring that it's condemned, never to be used again. The NAACP has said it's no good. It has to be removed. And removed forever. And to deliver the eulogy, I invite Ms. Hermina Marcelin.
So they buried the N-word, dug up a hole and buried him 6 feet under. What a sight to behold, what a day to remember. Nothing but sticks and bones, because that word posed too much of a danger. The great manipulator, born to degrade the black man's color, lives to test its impact on the children's future, so they buried the N-word. Society couldn't bear to look at him any longer. His face was the epitome of anger, and that looked too familiar, reminded them of Emmett Till's mother, so they buried the N-word. He was getting too bold, did not care to live any longer. He lost his soul, so he could never be his brother's keeper. With too much to consider, they had to call on the undertaker to bear witness to this death sentence. Boy, was he tense. His rap sheet was too long, so they made sure he never sang no freedom song. He even had an etymology. This N-word had its roots dug deep in Egyptian terminology, then later uprooted by the Romans, the Spanish, and the French ideologies. Extracted God from his core and dragged him till he can think no more. He became the laughingstock that supplied all of Jim Crow's laws. Not only was he poor, but the N-word was inferior. Made to take the back seat when he just entered through the back door, even after his resurrection from the Civil War. See, he had to fulfill his master's ploy. Sooner or later, he would be eating off the floor if it was not for the civil rights laws. But he was already wounded from this racial attack. The N-word started calling another N-word black. The NAACP said, forget that, so they buried the N-word. No remorse, no tears held back. No clemency, no public apology. His sweat was becoming an aphrodisiac. Any day now he would impregnate the world where N-words lacked, so they buried the N-word. The whole event was done publicly, no longer held in secrecy. No handcrafted casket adorned with beautiful tapestry, just a pine box and a fake black rose thrown in with no sympathy. Finally laying to rest over 500-year-old history, immune to this 21st century.
As you can see, Hermina Marcelin believes that the N-word should be buried, and honestly, I could not agree more. I think the biggest mistake that we made was trying to reclaim the word. I think we should have left it as a racial slur because there's just too much behind that word, you know? It has slavery tied to it. It had people hung on trees. So yeah, I believe that we should just bury it. We should just get rid of it because it's not giving us any results now. It's still hurting us even though we quote unquote reclaimed it. Like if someone else outside of our race said, hey, and then they say the word, we're offended. Like if they put it on job applications, oh, all hell is gonna break loose. We're going to protest. So I think we should just leave the word in the past and just, if we wanna call each other a name, maybe we just come up with a better name that's positive. But let's not use that word. Yeah.
You see, I agree, but at the same time, I feel like with how the generation grew over time, I feel like, you know, there's many rules, like, you know, for saying the N-word, as you know, with people saying and everything like that. But honestly, I feel like everyone, including Caucasian people, should say it in the right circumstances, not in the wrong ones, but in the right circumstances. Not to, you know, not for black people to get offended by it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. But how do they use that in the right circumstance?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Well, I feel like it's all in the experimental base.
Oh.
But
Okay, so what's your like example of the right circumstance?
Well, I feel like if you were like, you know, really good friends with a white person and they'll be like, oh, hey, what's up, my nigga, you know, then I mean, I feel like
Seeing how you feel there, is that the experiment part of what you're saying?
yeah, because, you know, I feel like some black people might, you know, be fine with it, but other black people might not.
But that's what I say where I understand where Natalie says we should have kept it dead. But at this point, we reclaimed it. And yes, it does have a lot of rules, but I can't expect everyone in the world to understand every rule. But if you have friends who are around you who are not black, of different race, that's when I think you could educate them on it. I used the example of a song that has nigga in it, or they would say nigga instead of nigger. I expect my white friend to be mute for that part because I've educated her on that and I've let her know, you know, we've reclaimed it, as in us with this skin type, we've reclaimed that, but I haven't reclaimed it with you as a white person. So I expect the friends who I have that are not of my race to understand that because they have a black friend, which is me. I've educated them on that. Everyone in the world, I don't think so, but that's that black person's diligent to educate those around them. And I think that's how it works with reclaiming. There's even an example of a female rapper. I think her name is Big Mulatto, but as we know what the term mulatto means years ago, but she decided, of course, you know, she's biracial, she decided to reclaim the word and make it her stage name. A lot of people have disagreements with that. Some agree, some think, you know, that's totally wrong, but she reclaimed it in her own right. And because she reclaimed it, she doesn't look at it as what the word meant, you know, years ago. You can't offend her because she already took that right to reclaim it. So yes, we should have left it dead, but at this point, we've reclaimed it, and I think some of us, if that's what you agree with, to just live in that you reclaimed it.
There are many classes to choose from and professors to help guide you through the coursework.
Here is a piece called I Dream that was a direct response to the racism that was happening over the summer.
Does my blackness make you feel uncomfortable? Are you uncomfortable? Does my blackness make you question the depths of your soul? Does my blackness offend you? meaningless to you. I wish that I could fly away. There is no peace and harmony today. Sometimes I dream a place where we can just be free. That's all I dream.
Nationalism and that white supremacist mindset over arresting, charging, and helping to convict 4 officers who killed the black man. That is the reality of what we're dealing with. This is not just a few cops doing things across the country. This is not a good cop versus bad cop situation. This is Ahmaud Arbery being shot down by white men on the streets of Georgia. Breonna Taylor being killed in her home. This is in New York City where we were until freedom. We were just in New York.
Dance is not just for entertainment. Dance is also an artistic expression, practiced throughout the centuries all over the world, where people are able to express their culture and history through movement and sound.
Dance doesn't always have to be done physically by a person. Now you can use rotoscope animation and digital choreography as in our next piece, Isolation.
I am broken, I am hurting. See my tears, see my tears. I am hurting, I am broken. Feel my tears, feel my tears. Hey, is there anyone out there who can help me through this pain?
The best way to get young people thinking about a higher education is to expose them to something new. Professor Robertson took her students out into the community to interact with other youth.
As the virus is winding down and the restrictions are being lifted, our students couldn't wait to get out onto the streets of Brooklyn to work with the Abundance Dance Academy to bring synergy through dance, as in our next piece.
We hoped you enjoyed our Arts Alive show here on MEC-TV as much as we enjoyed our time with you. And remember, you can see our Spring 2022 Arts Alive event on May 5th at 7 p.m. on WNYE-TV, cable, and social media. I'm Nathalie Gregoire.
And I'm Elijah Walker. Music, dance, art, the spoken word, radio and TV productions, and more are offered here at our B.F.A program at Medgar Evers College.
So come, explore, learn the skills necessary to get a jump start on your education and career. Visit us at CUNY Medgar Evers College. I'm Amanda Barrett. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
This broadcast of Education and Perspectives is paid for by Medgar Evers College.